I've been on Tinder for a while now, scrolling through endless profiles, hoping to find something genuine amidst the sea of posed smiles and filtered faces. It's not that I'm desperate, but ever since Rachel died, I've been feeling this void. Like a piece of my soul got ripped away with her in that horrific car crash. She was the love of my youth. The kind of love you think will last forever until it doesn't. I still remember the way her laughter filled a room, her eyes sparkling with mischief and kindness. Losing her felt like losing a part of myself. My Tinder dates have been a mixed bag, to say the least. There was the one who wouldn't stop talking about her ex, the one who had clearly lied about her age, and the one who was more interested in her phone than me. I was close to giving up, but then I came across a profile that piqued my interest. The pictures were vague, mostly silhouettes and distant shots. But the bio was intriguing. It was filled with quotes from my favorite books and a sense of humor that seemed to match mine. So I agreed to meet her at this quaint little restaurant downtown. I got there early, a habit I picked up from my dad. He always said, if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. I found a cozy spot and started my usual ritual of people watching. I was trying to guess which of the arrivals could be my date. Then she walked in. My heart stopped for a moment. She looked exactly like Rachel. Not just a passing resemblance, but as if Rachel had been plucked from the past and aged to what she would be today. The same smile, the same walk, even the same way of tucking her hair behind her ear. My mind raced with impossible scenarios. Had she somehow survived? Was this some twisted joke? She approached me shyly, extending her hand. "Hi, I'm Emily," she said. Her voice brought me back to reality. It wasn't Rachel's voice, but the resemblance was uncanny. I must have looked like I'd seen a ghost because she asked, "Is everything okay?" I debated whether to tell her, but the words just spilled out. "You look exactly like someone I used to know, someone who died in a car accident." Emily's expression softened, a mix of confusion and empathy. "I'm sorry to hear that, but I assure you, I'm not her. Though I do feel a strange connection with you." The date was surreal. I struggled to focus, her face constantly reminding me of a past I had tried so hard to move on from. Yet there was something about Emily, an allure that went beyond her physical resemblance to Rachel. She was kind, funny, and genuinely interested in what I had to say. As the evening came to a close, I found myself in a whirlwind of emotions. Part of me wanted to see her again, to explore this bizarre connection. But another part of me was terrified. Was I chasing a ghost, or was this the universe giving me a second chance at happiness? I walked home that night under the starlit sky, my mind a tumult of past and present. I knew one thing for sure. This was a story far from over. I don't really want my family to know about this story. So let's just say my name is Heather, and I live near Columbus, Ohio. This story is from about 10 years ago, when I was in my 20s. Tinder had become my go-to for navigating the chaotic world of dating. Over a couple of years using Tinder, I had my fair share of disastrous and delightful dates. Some of these encounters turned into friendships, but I never quite stumbled upon the one. That is, until I met Daniel. Daniel was different from anyone I'd ever met. From our first date, it was clear that he wasn't just about the usual dinner and a movie. Our dates were like stepping into a storybook, each one an adventure waiting to unfold. We'd find ourselves in laughter-filled conversations at a cozy jazz bar or stargazing in a secluded park, sharing stories and dreams under the night sky. There was an undeniable connection between us. It wasn't just about the places we went. It was about the way he listened, the way he saw the world. He had a knack for turning ordinary moments into something magical. Whether we were trying a new exotic cuisine or simply walking through the city streets, Daniel had a way of making every experience feel special. With Daniel, I found myself eagerly anticipating each date, curious about what unique experience lay ahead. It was exhilarating, and for the first time in a long time, I felt a genuine, deep connection. After several dates, something shifted inside me. This wasn't just another fling. It felt real. It felt serious. But as things started getting more serious, a tiny voice in my head urged me to do something I hadn't done before: look him up online. It felt intrusive, delving into Daniel's life like this. We were building something genuine, a trust that felt fragile, and here I was, about to pry into his private world. But the curiosity that had lain dormant was now a roaring fire. I needed to know more about him. I started with social media. I searched for Daniel on Facebook and Instagram. I tried typing in his name and many variations of it, but found nothing. No profiles, no pictures, no digital footprint whatsoever. It struck me as odd, but I rationalized that maybe he valued his privacy. Undeterred, I turned to people's search websites and online directories. I spent hours sifting through pages, looking for any trace of Daniel's existence. But each search turned up empty. It was as if he was a ghost, existing only within the confines of our dates. Daniel talked about being a sports star in high school. He wrestled and played football. This gave me another lead. I scoured through newspaper archives, hoping to find at least a mention of his name in a game report or a team photo. When that failed, I even tracked down yearbooks from his high school. I flipped through them eagerly, scanning each page for his face. But he was nowhere to be found, not even a footnote. With each dead end, my unease grew. Daniel, who had been so real, so present, now seemed like an enigma, a puzzle I couldn't solve. It was as if his life outside of what he shared with me didn't exist at all. Confused and a little unnerved, I decided to confront him. On our next date, I gently broached the subject. But the moment I mentioned my inability to find anything about him online, his demeanor changed. He became defensive, almost upset. Not angry, but clearly bothered. He hastily made up an excuse to end the date and left. After that night, Daniel vanished. I tried calling him, but each attempt was met with the cold, impersonal message of a disconnected number. Desperate for answers, I went to his apartment where we had shared so many evenings filled with laughter and intimate conversations. But it stood completely empty. The rooms that once echoed with our shared moments were now silent, devoid of any sign that he or anyone had ever lived there. It felt surreal, as if Daniel was a ghost, a figment conjured from the depths of my imagination. Yet the memories of our time together were vivid, imprinted in my mind with a clarity that defied this eerie absence. His laughter, the warmth of his touch, the way his eyes crinkled when he smiled, these were too real to be mere figments. But in the face of his complete disappearance, these memories now hung in my consciousness like haunting, unanswered questions. Now I'm left with an unnerving mystery. Who was Daniel? Why was there no record of his existence? Was he hiding something, or was he something else? The questions swirl in my mind, but the answers seem as elusive as the man who had, for a brief time, captured my heart. I used to love the thrill of meeting someone new on Tinder, the excitement of a potential romance, or even just a new friendship. But there was one date, one chilling discovery that changed everything for me. He seemed perfect, attractive, witty, and genuinely nice. We met for dinner and then strolled around town, hopping between local bars. We laughed, took photos, and even bumped into some of my friends. It was, by all accounts, a perfect evening. The next day, over brunch with my friends, I eagerly shared the details of my date. We scrolled through the photos from the previous night, laughing at our silly poses and the fun we'd had. But then we noticed something unsettling. In every photo, starting subtly at first, there was a man in the background. At each location, he was there. He was lurking in the shadows, his face never quite clear. My heart raced as we flipped through more pictures, each revealing this mysterious figure. Always watching, always hidden. The final photo, a selfie of us kissing goodnight at my doorstep, was the most disturbing. He was there, partially hidden in the bushes. His presence sinister and uninvited. This revelation turned my world upside down. I was scared, not just of meeting strangers from Tinder, but for my safety in general. Who was this man? What did he want? His haunting figure in those photos has left me questioning everything. I am now very wary of the unknown dangers that might be lurking just out of sight.